boxing on Channel 5. Defending his name, his legacy. Harlem Eubank, battling his way up the super lightweight rankings. Can he remain undefeated? Big Fight Live, Eubank versus Uruzquieta, Friday at 10 on Channel 5.
This is COLM McGuigan for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to be joined by Maureen Shea. Maureen, how are you? You all good?
I'm good. Here in sunny Florida.
Yeah, sunny Florida. What time is it in Florida right now?
6:02 p.m.
6:02. Well, I'm in Ireland and it's 11 p.m. So it's we're in the opposite side. But look, we've got you on. We've received your press release this week. Interesting reading. Give me your side of the story on this and exactly what happened. So basically, the IBF ordered you to fight Ellie Scottney, right, for the interim title?
Correct.
And then what's happened next?
And then what happened was I received a Matchroom contract and I signed my contract. I returned my contract. And then I had not been, nothing really happened. And then I had the fight set the 29th in Sheffield, England. And then Matchroom, I guess the card fell through. I guess the main event fell through. So they were talking about rescheduling it for May 20th on the Katie Taylor card. And I said, okay, perfect. And then next thing I know, that was it. I am getting, word that now she's fighting the champion, Shanika Johnson, which I don't understand. And I'm like, wait, the IBF ordered a fight to an interim title. And then the champion was actually out until at least June. So she couldn't fight because of the gash that she had on her head. So she was medically out. So that fight wasn't going to take place.
Okay. So let me get this right. Okay, so there's an interim title. You've been ordered to fight Ellie Scottney for it. Matchroom have sent you the contract. They've said, Maureen, sign this contract. We're going to sort out this fight. You've done that, right?
Correct.
Okay, so at this stage, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. So the promoter says, okay, we're going to make the fight right now with Maureen Shea. We're going to get everything sorted, as he should do. Okay? So then what happens closer to the time, Shanika Johnson is then cleared due to the cut. And the title itself is now available because the champion's available to fight. So in the promoter's interests, do you think he's just pushed you to the side? Has there been any communication between you and Matchroom about this? Has there been any communication between you and the IBF about this?
Well, yes, there was communication. My manager spoke to the IBF and spoke to Matchroom. But I don't know. I personally don't think that Matchroom ever had, because they never intended, even when I sent back my contract, that fight in Sheffield hadn't fallen through yet. And they never sent the contract in. So why didn't they send the contract in? I don't think there was intention. I think that they didn't like that the IBF ordered the interim title. I don't think they liked that because they didn't want Ellie Scottney to fight me before Shanika Johnson. I think they were like, oh, I think that the IBF kind of shocked them with that because I was ranked number 2 and it made sense because my manager spoke to the IBF and he said, well, this makes sense. Why don't we do this? It does. Listen, I've been doing this for how long? I'm 30-2 with 13 knockouts. I mean, I'm not fighting for nonsense. I'm not saying stay busy fights. I don't care. I said, I'll take this fight without a stay busy fight. I haven't fought since last May. I'm totally confident in my capabilities. It's not a payday. I mean, what bothers me is people are like, oh, we'll take the payday. I'm like, I make more money outside of boxing. I don't need to do this. I have a business. I have a career. I have other things going on. I choose to do this. And this is where my freedom and my peace comes in, is that I don't need to do this. And they think, oh, well, people say, oh, are you fighting for this or fighting for that? I'm fighting because there's a bigger thing here. This isn't just happening to me. A lot of women are getting passed over. A lot of women that don't deserve to have these. And again, it's like, I'm all about an advocate for female boxing but earn your place. These girls fighting for world titles did not earn. They're just being, and then you have the women like myself who put in the work and have the experience and the talent. And then these girls are being protected and they don't fight us. It doesn't make sense. Do you know what I'm saying?
I feel that, I haven't got a comment from Eddie Hearn. I haven't got a comment from Matchroom to come back to you with, but
Hearn is saying like, oh, well, he's saying exactly what you said. Oh, well, the champion was available. So why should we fight Maureen Shea when the champion's available? And how come you didn't execute the contract when it was supposed to be executed? Why did you wait? Why were you sitting back waiting? Then they were talking about I don't know, there was some talk about a April 1st fight with no belt for a catch weight. Like, this isn't, come on. Like, no, for what? Why do I need to do that at this point? Like, at
Do
what
you,
point?
do you feel that maybe Eddie Hearn has looked at the situation, said the regular champion now is available to fight. This isn't going to be for an interim title. From a promoter's mindset, this maybe makes more sense, and we will fight Maureen Shea after.
Well, why didn't he say that? Why didn't he say that? He
Well,
didn't say
has that been discussed with you at all? So,
and that's
what's
what
the
I'm.
plan between yourself and Matchroom then going forward? There's been
What is
no
my
communication. Your
Well,
plan
my
with Matchroom.
manager is handling that right now. My manager, Luigi Chese, he's handling that right now. But as far as I know, I mean, I haven't been offered that fight. I haven't been said, okay, Maureen, you're the mandatory. That hasn't been said to me. I'm moving up to number 1 because Ramla Ali is number 3. So what do they want me to fight Ramla Ali for an interim belt? Like, what's going on here? Because they're all Matchroom fighters. Like, do you see what's happening here? No American fighter is getting an opportunity here. This is so clear and blatant that it boggles my mind that it's not right. And I'm at a point now where I'm gonna fight this. I don't have to fight this. I can sit back and be like, ah, whatever. I'm fighting this not just for myself, but I'm fighting this for everybody else, because this is like nobody's speaking up, and I have nothing to lose. I'm speaking up because it's the facts. I get passionate about it because it's just unfortunate, and I see it happening a lot. And listen, I'm not saying that American promoters have a little bit to do with this as well. They're not promoting a lot of women here. There's a handful of females that are getting promoted. And so it's a little frustrating just to sit back, to have been doing this for more than half my life, and to see how women's boxing has gone, and to have my experience inside the ring, outside the ring. I've done a lot in this sport. I've done everything but referee and judge. That's the truth. I've promoted, I've managed, I've done everything. And I've done PR. I've worked for Irish Ropes Promotions with Eddie McLaughlin when he had John Duddy in New York. I fought on those cards with John Duddy and James Moore. I've been around this game for so long, and I've earned my spot. And a lot of these girls, not just myself, but they've earned their spots too. And they're saying, like, I mean, Shanika Johnson won a title coming off a loss, and she fought a girl that came off for a title that came off a loss. I mean, there's a lot of little things here, but the thing I feel, and I appreciate you taking the time to speak to me, I feel like the media needs to do their homework and give the opportunity to hear the stories. And that's why I'm kind of saying this, because it's easy to tell the obvious story and just focus on the obvious thing. But what about the back end? What about what's going on behind the scenes that the public doesn't know about?
In terms of you and yourself and this situation that's went on around you, like you've said, you've done everything that you possibly can to make the fight happen. For one reason or another, it's not going to happen. What's your desired outcome from all of this?
To sit ringside May 20th and say, okay, here I am. But now I have to wait 9 months for them to defend. Like, let's have an immediate fight because of the way things happen. Have the IBF come in and say, the IBF ordered this fight. So have the IBF say, okay, she's got to do immediate defense. Whoever wins the belt, whether it's Shanika or Ellie, immediate defense against Maureen Shea. That's the right thing to do. Let's see if that happens.
In terms of Matchroom's involvement, I'm not too sure because I haven't spoke to anyone at Matchroom about this situation, so I can't give an opinion on it. But what I will say is that a promoter will look after their fighters. And in this instance, do you believe that Eddie Hearn is possibly looking after Ellie Scottney in her best interests?
I'm sure, but we gave them options with me. So it would have been a win-win for him. If I beat Ellie Scottney or whatever, then he's got options on me. So I don't understand. It doesn't really make sense. Listen, again, I'm sitting back and I'm like, I can fight. I'm marketable. I speak 2 languages, and I'm very well promotable. So I'm kind of like, hey, what's going on? I mean, my fighting style is, I've never been in a boring fight, and obviously I can talk, and I can do that in Spanish too. And I'm very connected with my Irish fans. I'm very connected with my Mexican fans, my American fans. I'm very proud. And I mean, just that alone, being Mexican and Irish and being a boxer, how many do you know?
It's true.
I can speak fluent Spanish. I don't know. I don't get it, but I get, like, I understand that protection, but it comes to a point where, like, what's earned? Like, how did Ellie Scottney, you're 6-0. How did you earn a world title at 6-0?
In terms of this fight now being made between Ellie and Shanika Johnson, how do you think that goes, and which of those would you prefer to face next?
Whoever. I really, to be honest with you, I don't care. I have no idea. I have no idea how that's going to go. I think they're both very green. I know that there's holes in their games because they just don't have the experience. I've been studying both of them because, I'm still in the game. So I think that they're exactly where they're supposed to be for their records, and how they've been brought up. I mean, who has Ellie Scottney fought? Cecilia Roman. Okay. Cecilia Roman walked straight in front of her. I'm not going to walk straight in front of you. Like that's not how I box. And all due respect to Cecilia Roman, she's been in the game a long time too. But styles make fights, and my boxing IQ surpasses both of them combined. I don't care about your amateur background; it's very different. Very, very different. So for me, it's whichever way it goes. God bless them both. May the best woman win, and then the best woman's going to face me, and that's how it should go.
You've said you want to be ringside May 20th. You want to be there. You want to be around this atmosphere, and you want to kind of cement your name in for an immediate defense to whoever wins that title. The main event that night is a massive fight, Katie Taylor against Chantel Cameron. How do you think that goes?
Man, I love Katie's. I really love Katie's style. I think that Katie is a lot. I think she brings a lot. And the thing is, Katie's got a lot of experience. She's got a lot, especially getting in front of Amanda Serrano. Amanda came up around my time too. She's a gritty girl from Brooklyn. I'm a gritty girl from the Bronx. And so, I think that's an interesting, I think it's going to be a really good fight. I think Katie's going to bring it. And for me, it's time where I'm like, man, I want to spar Katie just to give her some head movement, but she's so strong and she's so, she's just so precise with her punches. She's really grown so much in the sport, and developed, and I really enjoyed seeing her development in the sport. And I think that Katie can pull that off for sure. I think she's strong. I think she's smart. I think she has the rounds and with high caliber fighters to be able to do that.
Before I let you go, do you have a final message for Eddie Hearn if he is watching this interview on IFL TV?
I mean, come on, Eddie. Like, we can talk business. I'm a straight shooter. I'm not quiet. I'm mature. I'm smart. And I understand the game. I understand this business. And I can guarantee you right now, I could put butts in the seats. Absolutely. You could put me up against anybody. I've always put butts in the seats. People love to see me fight. And it's not just, I connect with people on a level, and I'm very grateful because I have fans from when I was an amateur because of my work on $1 Million Baby that still support me, that I know I have people that would have flown to Ireland to see me fight. A lot of people, they would have flown to England to see me fight. Those are the kinds of supporters and the kinds of love that I have here in the United States and in Mexico, because I have them too. So, it just makes sense. And I had said this to Bob Arum, when he put me on the Miguel Cotto undercard. He was talking about he had just gone through this issue with Christy Martin and Lucia Riker's fight falling through, and he lost some money. I said, with all due respect, and I have a lot of respect for both those women, but I'm not Lucia Riker, and I'm not Christy Martin, I'm Maureen Shea. And I bring a different kind of flavor, a different kind of attitude, and just a different kind of feeling with the fight. It's just different. So, I'd put my money on me. I think he should too.
Well, Maureen, I hope to see you ringside on May 20th in Dublin. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll catch up that week. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a good night. God bless.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,